There we go. We all good? Brilliant. Cool. Nick, I read the other day. It was a saying that said, "Don't sell coffee, sell the boost," which is a bit ironic because the coffee I told you about is actually decaf because I can't have anything past midday. But it's perfect for today's session. We're not here to sell you the NHS app, but the boost it can give you all by making your work lives easier, supporting and encouraging citizens to use the NHS app. I must say, at Healthwave, we say citizens. As I talk to you more, you might hear me drop in patients, but we're just talking about everybody as a collective. We're going to talk about benefits of a number of sections of the app. Hope to fill you all with the knowledge to go back and spread the word. Just a little bit of fun to start with. So the NHS app, it was the most downloaded app in the UK last year, and has over, well, actually, should we use the chat box? Does anyone want to hazard a guess how many registrations the NHS app currently has? What do you think, Nick?
What population? 60 odd million, 20 million. I'll go for 20 million.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess how many registrations the app has? Ooh. Well, I'll let you all know. It's over 30 million, which makes it not that far behind WhatsApp. So, wow. Yeah, like you say, it's coming up to half the population that are registered. Just before we begin, and we've got a little presentation to go through with you. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you the registration process of the app because both myself and Nick are already NHS app registries. So it takes us straight to the login page. But it's very simple. Users are asked to enter their email address. You put in a number of personal details. And unlike what a lot of people seem to think, you don't need to know your NHS app number. They can find that from popping in your personal details as well. So yeah, if we head on to the presentation, Nick. Thank you very much. So it's the NHS app masterclass, and we'll start by just talking about the scheduling of appointments section. We've got a little video for each section with the how-tos as well, which will hopefully help. So see a little calendar down in the bottom there. So you just would simply click that. This will then take you to a page. It's got GP surgery appointments, but also hospital and other appointments. So it's quite handy for the separation of both. And simply book an appointment. You can also see there that it's got past appointments as well, and the opportunity to give feedback. Nick, as you can see, well, we don't have any appointments available to book at this time. But obviously, if that is something that you did have, then it's something that would be there. What did you find with it, Nick? With the how did you find it?
I find it's great. It's really handy to have, and honestly, unfortunately, that's the example at hand was my actual app as well. So unfortunately, I couldn't link into my GP to make an appointment. But if they get that final link done, it's amazing. Just a game changer, really. Just so easy.
Yeah, it's just a few clicks of a button. A lot of the things we'll be showing you today are just a few simple clicks of a button, which is so handy. And onto the benefits, which the way we feel that should be promoting of everything that we talk about today. So it's quick and easy. It's going to save you time being able to book your appointments with a few clicks of the finger. You can update appointments. You're even going to have the ability to be able to amend appointment if something pops up that's not so, maybe your appointment isn't as important, or their appointment isn't as important as that's needed. And you can even cancel appointments there as well, again, which just saves time. There's also the opportunity to provide feedback. I think this is a real good one because you can let people know how your appointment's gone. I think it's quite important for, especially in doctor surgeries, but also hospitals as well, to have feedback to let people know how they're getting on. And the big one, and you're going to see this a lot whilst I'm talking away, less phone queuing. It speaks for itself, but I think everybody gets a bit fed up being stuck on a phone queue. So if you can do this via the app, then that's just great. The next section is the accessing your GP health record. Again, a nice little video to show you. This is a nice and simple one. It's as simple as just clicking view your GP health record. From there, that will take you to a page. You do have to scroll down. It's got just some important information, just saying about your personal data and where you're opening your health record. Obviously, have to keep that personal. And then Nick, if you could just pause that here, please, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, if you've got access to your personal information at the top, your date of birth, NHS number, and your address. But then as it goes down, and this is where the real detail comes, obviously any allergies, medicines that you've taken, results for tests that you had, and consultation and events. That's the quite the big one, because you can go back through all previous appointments you've had. I couldn't tell you how far this actually stretches back, but I believe it's most of your adult life that's going to be on there. So yeah, a great way to be able to see previous appointments as well. So the benefits of accessing your GP health record. Again, it saves time. It's going to save the patient time for checking things like previous medication, and it also links in quite well. I've said doctor here, saves the doctor time, but it could mean any health professional. We all know that I've chosen doctors as an example, because we all know that everyone rarely gets to see the same doctor now. So it's just a good way you can go in there, familiarize yourselves with each other, let them know potentially about different medicines that you've had that may have worked, may not have worked. And it's just a good way to build that relationship. See any procedure. I thought this is a good one, because it's good to know when you last had something. For instance, I know if some people have had certain operations, they may not be able to give blood for 12 months, for instance, or a few years. So you're with this procedure, see any procedure. Yeah, it's a good way of sort of checking dates from when certain things have happened in your life. How did you find it, Nick?
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing to have that amount of information at your fingertips as well. And I think you discuss later linked accounts, and that really ramps up a different level as well. The amount of information you have literally in your hand is just
amazing. And yeah, we'll go on to show that a bit shortly. But yeah, it's great. We'll link that in very shortly. So ordering of repeat prescriptions. I say this is just a real quick blast through some of these things. So this can be a real time saver and make such a difference. Again, waiting in phone queues to the doctor, surgery, or hospital, or chemist. The only phone call you have to make for this is to your practice to inform them of your chosen pharmacy to have repeat prescriptions sent to. So a patient can simply select the medication that they'd like to order, and once the request has been made, the prescription will be ready within 48 hours, excluding weekends. So again, this is a great, especially for people that don't really get much of a lunch break, can just a few clicks of a finger. We've got a little video for you again.
Just bear with me, I've just got letting someone else into the lobby. Hang on.
That's okay. And so yeah, on the video here, so we've got the ordering of the repeat prescription section. Then simply order prescription, but you can also see that it's got hospital medicines and your nominated pharmacy as well. I'll speak about that again very shortly, once you've gone through to the next section, which I can't remember how long the timings for some of these are. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, what type of prescription do you want to order? You can either have repeat or non-repeat prescription as well. So once that's gone onto your NHS account, you can do that. Check that the pharmacy is going to be sent to. Also shows you the opening times of the pharmacy, making the app a one-stop shop with those opening times, rather than having to go onto Google and check in as well. You've got the repeat prescription, which you make sure you tick that you've had, and scroll down to the bottom. You can add any notes for your GP. Could be that a nominated person is coming to pick up the prescription as well. and then you confirm and order your prescription. Really, really nice and simple, and will save people so much time. So onto the benefits for that. One phone call. I tell a little porky here. The only reason I say one phone call is that's assuming you don't move house. So obviously, if you do move to a different location, then you might need to make another phone call to change your nominated pharmacy. But generally speaking, it'd just be a one phone call job. And then following on from that, the opportunity to change your pharmacy. Again, you don't have to. It's not too much effort or work by just selecting the change pharmacy option, meaning that you can still use the app for your prescriptions. As I just mentioned, you can add notes as well. For instance, like we just said, a nominated person picking up the prescription, and yet again saves time. It's a common feature, that, Nick, isn't it? How have you found using the prescription section?
No, for me it's brilliant, because I suffer from asthma, so every 3 months I need to order a new inhaler. So I'd literally go into the app, order it. It's in my pharmacy in a few days, like no longer than 2 days. Luckily, my pharmacy is also in my local Sainsbury's or other supermarkets that are available. So I literally do my weekly shop, pass my shop, pick up my inhaler, I'm done. It just saves me so much time and effort. It's brilliant.
Very important. You are right. Other supermarkets are available.
yeah, obviously for legal reasons.
But like I say, the key there is definitely making sure you have that nominated pharmacy added. Once that's 100%. Done, it becomes really simple.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we mentioned about other languages in the NHS app. I'm going to be totally honest with you here. We've found this really frustrating one. We've put in requests with the NHS app developers for this to be added, and we definitely believe that if you feel there is a need to have other languages within the NHS app, then please let them know. It's, I think, something that will really improve the app, being able to put into different languages, and will definitely help in the uptake of people using it as well.
I think it must be a massive blocker for people uptaking it. If their primary language isn't English, then they literally can't really use the app, can they? And I think in communities which are very diverse, such as in the Midlands as well, it must be a massive blocker in people uptaking on the app as well. So I think, to me, to unlock that would be a game changer as well.
Exactly. So yeah, please feel this. We can use this as a call to action. Please feel free to get in touch with the NHS app, should I say? A bit of a tongue twister. And in the near future, we're going to really push for this to be implemented into future ones. All your family's records in one place. You might have heard of this as proxy access or link profiles. It's just simply having all your family records in that one place. So there's a little video just again to show users how to get onto that. Linked profiles, nice and simple, this one. From there, you can see that we've blocked out the names, but you can see there the different link profiles. So to then go onto Mrs. profile, you can then switch to their profile. Like I say, we've had to block a lot of this out, but you can just get the rough gist of it. Once you then link to their profile, you then can have the same features that you've had for yourself, but then obviously for your nominated person. Nick, well, how did you find that? I know you've got a couple of young children.
No, like I say, really helpful. Obviously, once I link my 2 kids' accounts to my account, I'd obviously see what prescriptions they can have, the health records, that sort of stuff as well. What I didn't realise is that the NHS treats a 13-year-old as an adult, so I had to get my son's permission before I could actually link him, which obviously putting the phone onto him to the GP, so he put a yes, and then he was linked in straight away. So no,
a grunting of a yes. So he's a typical 13-year-old teenager then.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just a key thing to remember with that one. Yeah, obviously a child in this case becomes an adult at 13. So yeah, just making sure that if they're happy to have the account linked still, then that will. Is it a yearly job, do you think, there?
Once it's done, that's it. It's done. So
it's done. Brilliant. Cool. So onto the benefits. Being able to manage the family health records all in one place. The ability to arrange and amend your children's appointments all in one stop. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but one-stop shop is just going to save time and just make people's lives so much easier. Talk about today.
Dan, you just frozen. So you want to start back at that point?
No worries. Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. My rubbish landline, my rubbish Wi-Fi. Going back a few years there. So yeah, onto the health aid said. This to me, I don't know if you should rate things on the app, but this to me is the best thing by a mile. It beats Google for any health problem because it's a trusted NHS health source, so it gives you all the correct information. I will just show you how to go down. So if you just click the stethoscope down in the bottom corner, and this will lead you to the advice section, but then going into search conditions and treatments. And then that leads you into just this massive, be sure to scroll down as well with the cookies, leads you into a massive health A to Z, which just has absolutely everything you can imagine for all things health. For this example, we chose acid and chemical burns. I mean, when you click into this one, it's going to tell you immediate first aid. We're just using this as an example, but yeah, I mean, if there's been an acid or chemical burn around you, then probably going to need to do something quick, pretty sharpish about that. On to the benefits. Sensitive issues. Some people don't like to go and see a doctor or may feel not confident about a certain situation with themselves. This overcomes that by them being able to read up potentially what's wrong with them, or if they have been diagnosed, what they can start to do about that. Reassurance. Again, I'm not suggesting that this health aid has beats people who have become a doctor or anything like that, but it's just a reassurance that if they're feeling unwell or have a certain issue, that actually a lot of the time they might be okay themselves, or just by taking things like paracetamol, ibuprofen, and those things can get better. So it's for the last time today, I promise. Saves time. What did you think of the A to Z when you've used it, Nick? Hello, Nick. Oh, I think you're.
Hang on, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, my friend.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so obviously going back to my previous example of having a teenage son, obviously he might not feel comfortable speaking to a GP about certain conditions, and obviously this gives him access to answer questions he might need the answers to, that obviously he might be too embarrassed to speak to a GP or someone else about as well. So I think it's a plethora of brilliant information at your fingertips. It's also it's reliable information as well. It's like a straight Google where you come up with A, B, C, and then you're down to Z by accident. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
Trusted information as well.
No, brilliant. That's great. And any questions? Just popped a silly little picture there to hopefully get you all back in the room. We'll just pop out of the screen just for a minute, Nick. Just if has anybody got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Feel free to pop your hand up or pop in the chat box. Have you got any questions, Nick? Or are you fully switched up on the NHS app now?
No, I think I'm fully versed. I think it's very good once you get into it. Obviously, the digger you deep into, the more benefits you see as well. So it's just
and this is what we've tried. Sorry, sorry, my friend. Just say this is what we've done with this masterclass about talking about the benefits. Like I said at the start, it's not just it's not the coffee, it's the boost, and that's something that we want to sort of go with this. Hope you've all enjoyed today, and those on the recordings as well. Hope you enjoy listening back to this. We're going to be running these events regularly throughout the coming year. Now, at Healthwave, I'll show you in a moment our Healthwave hub that we have for all users in the Black Country, which I'll share with you very shortly. So our first session on the overview of that hub will be in a few weeks' time, and then in between Healthwave hub sessions, we'll be having these NHS App masterclasses, going into some more detail and really helping the future user in the process of using those things. So yeah, just quickly showing you our Healthwave hub. I'll give you a link to this in the chat box along with my email address as well. This is an incredible resource for all things Black Country. There is resources for users to be able to get a new laptop, assuming that they meet the criteria, ways to improve digital skills. There is even more information with NHS App how-tos as well. There's plenty of collections. You can share this with the people that you're supporting and use it yourself. And as well, on top of that, you can even add your own resources. This will also be where we upload any of our recorded events like today as well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. There is a link to the Healthwave Hub that Nick's just popped in the chat box. I'll leave this up for just a short while for those that are going to be looking back on this as a recording. I've also popped in the chat box as well my email address. Kelly, I've seen your question. That's yes, definitely something that we can look into, and I will get in touch with you about that. That'd be amazing. And yeah, thank you so much everybody for your time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your hump day, and come tomorrow. The weekend is nearly upon us. Thanks, Nick. Really appreciate your time as well, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone for joining. It's been really good.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Stop recording.